I am the child of a mistress. The year I turned 17, my biological father died. At his funeral, wearing my school uniform, I stood before a room full of business magnates, brilliant young scientists, and A-list actresses, trembling as I said, I'm here to fight for my inheritance. Before I could finish, the legitimate children all stared at me. I burst into tears from fear. If you don't want to give me any, that's fine too. The actress's eyes lit up. A little sister? A soft, squishy little sister? The scientist spread out paper and pen. A high school senior? Come here and solve this calculus problem so I can see where you're at. The billionaire pulled out a black card. What's there to want from the old man's measly savings? Call me brother, and I'll give you 10 times as much. My mother was a high-level manipulator, a canary kept by a rich man. Originally, the deal was simple. The sugar daddy provided the money, she provided her looks, a fair exchange with no strings attached. But when you live a good life for too long, greed easily takes root. She got pregnant, and relying on her pregnant belly, she staged a classic canary runs away with the baby trope. Before running away, she broadcasted her address all over her social media, terrified that people wouldn't be able to find her. She fantasized that her sugar daddy would lock down the entire city just for her, embarking on a domineering pursuit of love. That his wife would break down from an inferiority complex and willingly step aside. Unfortunately, she played herself. The sugar daddy didn't even bother looking. He didn't want her, or the baby. How could she accept this? Heavily pregnant and nearing her due date, she blocked the entrance to the sugar daddy's mansion. 2 bodyguards dragged her out and threw her by the garbage dump. They also passed on a message from the sugar daddy's wife. If you have the capability to take my husband, go ahead. Give birth to the child and give it to me to raise. Money? You won't get a single cent. After her relentless pestering proved fruitless, she finally gave up. But it was too late for an abortion. Harboring resentment, she gave birth to me and raised me haphazardly. Not out of love, but for money. The sentence she said to me the most was, "You are his seed. Does he get to just say he won't give us anything and that's it? Dream on. Even if he dies, you're entitled to a share of his estate." And so, as she wished, the year I turned 17, my biological father kicked the bucket. Upon hearing the news, she swiftly dumped me at the funeral home. Chloe Smith, remember this. Including you, your dad only has 4 kids. You get a quarter of his estate. Today is your last chance. If you don't get the money, don't bother coming back to see me. Her contorted features terrified me. Mom, don't leave me here. I'm scared. Scared. All you know is being scared. What did I raise you for? To make money. For over a decade, you've eaten my food, used my things, and delayed me finding a new man. Shouldn't you compensate me? Get that inheritance. Give it to me. And after that, I'll still be your mom. She walked a few quick steps, then suddenly stopped. She turned back, rummaged through my pockets, and took away the only $10 I had. I was stunned. Without money, I couldn't take the bus. This funeral home was halfway up a mountain. Relying on my own 2 legs, I wouldn't be able to walk back even by nightfall. She shoved me hard. Only by cutting off your retreat will you work hard. If you get the money, you can take a taxi back. If you don't, she casually pointed to the surrounding mountains. This whole area is a graveyard. You can just stay here and keep the ghosts company. The cold wind in the mountains blew, sending shivers down my spine. It felt like every little mound of earth in the deep mountains had eyes staring at me. I braced myself and walked into the funeral home. The funeral service had ended, and the guests were all gone. The room was empty except for the sugar daddy's 3 legitimate children, discussing the final wrap-up with the lawyer. According to Mr. Vance's dying wishes, his estate, totaling $200 million, will be divided equally among the 3 of you. $200 million. So much money. No wonder my mom was so crazy, jumping up and down for over a decade just to get a piece of the pie. And what I had to do today was try to get a quarter of that $200 million. $50 million. My palms were